Gotcha! It's 6:30 plus. I'm running a little behind today. It's a slow one. You know, Easter was yesterday. A little rough one with Marilyn. Hi everyone, it's 6:30. Welcome. I'm Scott. Welcome to the Facebook Scott's Kitchen.
Say hi to David Godfrey.
Oh, David Godfrey, I miss you, and Natasha and Shirley and everybody.
Pat
I
McMahon.
miss everybody. Pat McMahon. I can go down the list, you know. If
Michael
I could, I would just
Michael
come driving.
Clifford.
Michael Clifford, Vero Beach, hi. I would just come down and drive around just to say hi to everybody. That's how isolated we are. But I think this is really good that we're doing this. I hope everyone had a really nice Easter. Yeah, that was a little creepy intro yesterday. A man with rabbit ears drinking a margarita staring at you. But it was funny. I don't claim to be, whatever. It's just, this is who I am and this is how it is. I love cooking. I love entertaining people.
Say hi to Sally Branston.
Branston, hi. How are you? The spices are amazing. Amazing. Thank you for your friends. Your friends. Yeah, I've been playing with them. So,
The Daily News.
I want to give a big, huge shout out that for the 5th time I forgot. Space Coast Daily. It's a local, well, they go all over the place. It's Space Coast Daily magazine, and I go on there every morning, and there's a little section. I have my tea, and there's a little section that I just see people if I know them. You can imagine what that is. But it keeps you updated and everything. And they did a really cool little article about me and what we're doing here and how I'm trying to make everyone feel better during this difficult time. And I just want to give Suzanne over there a really big shout out. Thank you so much. I love you for doing that. You know what? Everybody has their place in this crisis, and I just feel like this is my place in the crisis. And now, I just think I need like a little band opening up over here before the show, and we need a table over here for you to taste the food.
Sally says the sausage arrives tomorrow.
Yay! Okay, so we got another treat. She's hooking me up with some products there.
And your nephew's online.
Roberto Rodriguez, I love you and happy Easter. I miss you.
Hi, Roberto.
Yes.
And great
Ina
Gaddy.
and everybody. Mr. Gaddy. In fact, today, before I get cooking for a second, I want to talk about something. Gaddy, you're in on this one. I was thinking, I took a walk today. I walk the bridge every day. I took a walk just to clear my mind. I've been doing it for years. And I put on that music, that dance music, and I'm jamming, I'm going. And you know what I thought today? These kids, or the young people, are not going to experience the Studio 54, the London Hippodrome, Limelight in New York, whatever the clubs will remind me, whatever club, where are you at? We're not going to have that for a while. They're not going to experience that. And I was just like, I am so proud that I've lived through all of that. I graduated in 1970, and
78.
Donna, shut up. Donna Summer and the Village People were like the number one hits when I graduated. But we got to live that. And I was thinking today as I'm walking, like, you know what? It's going to be a long time before you're able to go into a club and have a good time with your friends and drink and dance and boogie and shout. And that is so sad that there's a whole generation, I think, that is going to miss this. So, let's just be happy that we lived through this, and that's my my phrase for the day. Let's be happy. So apparently everybody ate really big for Easter yesterday. So today we're gonna do some homemade tomato soup, and we're gonna do an orange glazed chicken that goes on a salad. So let's get the tomato soup going, and then we'll make the chicken because the soup has to simmer. It's so easy. You can do this, and it's kind of like recipe style, but if you have all the ingredients, you just have to make it, and you're going to figure it out on your own. So let's go. Okay? Have a sip. Let's cook. Oh my God, I wish you all were just like sitting right there, and we can ask questions back and forth. So turn your stove on, medium high. If you don't have gas, this is at the restaurant. At my house, we'd only have the glass top tube. So we're going to add some olive oil, And you don't want a lot of olive oil because you don't want the soup to be oily. That's the key. That is the key. Most people over oil. So that's about a tablespoon and a little bit more. I don't have it on your pantry list, but I added some onions, some diced onions, and garlic. We're going to add about a tablespoon of garlic. It's stuck to my spoon because I didn't wash it yesterday. It was Easter. And we're going to just saute those down. You're going to see how easy this is. I don't want to mention any famous brand soup names, but you'll be making this on your own. Let it cool and freeze it, and you can have soup, grilled cheese sandwich, at whatever you want anytime.
Say hi to Jason Dietz.
Jason Dietz. Go Dietz. Say hi to Gwen, Jason. Pass it forward. Okay, so we have the onions and the garlic are sauteing. I'm going to just do that really quick. We're going to add, where's our salt and pepper mixture? We're going to add the salt and pepper mixture. Big pinch. Not a lot because we're going to add chicken broth to this and that has salt in it. But you want enough there. And it's something that you're going to have to play with. What I try and teach you is sometimes, even when I'm cooking in the restaurant, that's what these little spoons are for, tasting, because it's got to go out perfect. And I will tell you, I'm going to tell you a really funny story really fast. This used to be my house soup in the restaurant when I first opened 14 years ago. This was my very first house soup. And it was tomato basil soup with Boursin cheese. And one day, this lady, I forget her name, glad to forget it.
Say hi to Liza and Matt.
Hi Liza, hi Matt. Congratulations on your tarpon, Matt. So, this lady said to me, she sends her soup back, and she goes, now remember, the servers are going, today Scott made a tomato basil soup with Boursin cheese, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I have the best servers in the world, the way they say everything. And she goes, I don't like this, it's too tomatoey. It's tomato basil soup, for God's sake. Okay, we got it where we want it. So, let's add, I chose the crushed tomatoes. We're going to use crushed, diced, and tomato sauce. But I used the one with basil in it because the pickings were slim at the store. In fact, I even bought extra tomatoes and they took them out of my cart because I was rationed only to 2. Hank was there, he saw it. Well, actually, he's the one who told me.
I took the other 2.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't let you have it. There's rationing here. So that was the diced tomato. That was the crushed tomato. This is tomato sauce. Remember, we're making a big pot of soup here. And I got 2 little tomato sauces. Okay. So our flavor is in there from the onion, the salt, the pepper. We're going to let this cook a little bit. I'm going to add, of course, my favorite. Hopefully one day. Lowry's, McCormick. Yeah. So we're going to add, now this is probably about 8 good shakes. 8 good shakes. And the holes are they're big.
That was 8.5.
Yeah, well, I never was really good at math. Ask who worked with me. I was making a recipe once in the kitchen, I got these awards and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going like, hey, is a third cup, is a third cup, is that a cup? And they're like, oh my God. Never been good at math. So that's what we added in here. And we're going to let this cook. I'm going to move this over to the side for a minute. Oh, I like it when it lights up. We're going to move it over to the side. That's your soup. We're going to add in about a cup of chicken broth. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. With this recipe is really cool. If you don't want chicken broth and you're a vegetarian or whatever diet you're on or whatever you're following, you can use vegetable broth. You can use whatever you want.
Hold that can over here.
This is chicken broth. But you could use vegetable broth. You don't want beef broth. So we're just gonna mix this soup in here, and it's like a chunky tomato soup. And now I'm gonna do one thing. I'm just gonna taste it for a minute. Okay, it tastes tomatoey, but we need some of that salt factor, so we're gonna add, before I add the salt, I'm gonna add some black pepper.
Jason, I'm wearing khakis.
It's a little bit of information on a cooking show.
Yeah.
Add a little more of the garlic salt and another pinch of salt pepper mix and a pinch of crushed red pepper. There you go. I forgot that earlier. So we have this right here, and we're going to just let this simmer for a minute, because what's going to happen after it heats up, we're going to add the Boursin cheese, and it's going to get really creamy and really good. Okay, so now let's move on to the chicken. We're doing an orange ginger glazed chicken. And I have my pan, saute pan, medium heat. I'm going to add some oil. Not a lot, about a tablespoon and a half. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. So I always tell you, it's nice to have all these things prepped. Like the chopped garlic and all that. If you like to cook, it's so much easier if you take one day out of the week and you just prep all the stuff you need, and you go home and you can be ready in 5 minutes. So we're adding the garlics. I'm going to add a little crushed red pepper to this too. Remember, it's all about using the same ingredients over and over again, so you don't have the pantry like crazy. I have a chicken breast. This is one chicken breast that I pounded and sliced up to where it's thin. It's thin. I like it to cook fast. That's my secret. I like it to cook fast. I don't like to sit there and watch the whole thing. And we're gonna just move this around. Well, you don't want a lot of oil in here. It's just to coat it. You know, this is I'm going into my 4th week of seeing you every day like this. I just told Hank that. I was like, oh my God. And remember, we gotta be strong. The soup is there. So we're gonna add a little bit of soy sauce, which we've used in several recipes. We're gonna do about a tablespoon of sodium. We're going to add, I'm in your way. We're going to add a little bit of orange juice. About maybe a little less than a 1/4 cup. We're cooking this chicken. Remember, we're making all this live, right on time.
And for me.
Maybe. We're going to add some Lowry's garlic salt. Some black pepper to this. We're going to add about a teaspoon plus, maybe 2 teaspoons. Maybe that was 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard.
Ken and Jeannie are, especially Ken, is feeling neglected.
Well, Ken, I think that there's an 800 number for that right now.
No, it's 1-900.
Maybe 1-900. That was Hank. That was funny. Okay. You're messing me up, Ken. Okay. God, I wish you all would just hear it and we're in my kitchen and we could all just do this together. So I'm going to just cover this for a second. Remember, we're making like a sauce. This is for a salad. So I have my Dow Strong knives from James Beard, and here is if I tell you to put in some orange sections, you can peel the orange and do whatever, but sometimes it's easier just to pull off the rind. And when it says orange sections, well, these are my orange sections, just like this. I don't need them to look like grapefruit sections, but I want a little fresh orange in this because it's going on top of a salad. And today I chose spinach. And in your pantry items, I told you whatever you like. You can make whatever you like. So I have the oranges in there. Oh, see, the soup is boiling. Okay. It's just a tomato soup. I have to taste that. So our chicken is cooking. We have our oranges done. Not our oranges, but our chicken. We're gonna let that cook a little minute. I am going to taste the soup again. Yeah. Tomato soup. It's tomato soup. I like a little more pepper to it. I'm gonna add a little more pepper. And I'm going to bring it over here with you. This is Boursin cheese. I found it in the it's in the cheese, the gourmet cheese section, and this is probably a little bit pricey. You know, we're cooking on a budget now, but I wanted to make it the original way. But there's some other dips like Alouette dip or something that are garlic and herb, and this is garlic and herb Boursin. And look at that, I just put this in there. And this is going to make it creamy garlic and herb chive tomato soup.
Do you ever put basil in the soup?
Yes, actually I usually put basil, and sometimes I put the pesto in there. But I just gifted someone some pesto. It was my very last that I had in house until I make more. So happy birthday! You know who you are. I was more than happy to share that with you. So here's the soup. So let's take a little taste of that with the cream in it. It's going to lighten it up. Oh man. All you need is like a grilled cheese just to dip in that and chomp on it. Okay, so we have our chicken that is cooking. So
Can you add wine, Sally wants to know, instead of broth?
You can add wine to anything, Sally. And you probably do.
I think she did.
Okay, so here we have our chicken, which we made with the soy sauce Dijon, and I have orange marmalade. I'm going to add a big 2 tablespoons. And this is going to make the sauce right here. This is where your orange glazed chicken comes in. And we just want to turn the heat on just for a minute to break down the marmalade. That's so good. The chicken's good. That's why I like to cook the chicken really thin, so it cooks fast and it's easier to eat. When I do it in the restaurant, I make it with chicken breast, and I do it, you know, the presentation way they would in a nice restaurant. So we have that there. So I think that's pretty fun today. Now I have my salad prepared already. I chose spinach with some radishes. I sliced some radishes, a couple slices of tomato, shredded carrot, and I'm going to take a little bit of the chicken. Oh, come on. Put the chicken right there on top. A couple oranges, fresh oranges. I'm going to take a little bit of the sauce. This is great on a spinach salad.
Oh.
I'm going to take my bowl. Where's my scooper? I got my tomato soup, tomato Boursin soup. Like that. I'm going to put that on there. I like to clean presentation. Another little trick that I told you, you could put some pumpkin seeds on your salad. Toasted pumpkin seeds. And I tell you, I like these things. I could eat them right out of the container. But you add some of that to your tomato soup. And you just made yourself soup and salad, lunch or dinner, heaven on a plate.
He just made my dinner.
No. So, I am so happy to share this one with you. You got the fork and your spoon. Look how easy that is. You can do this for a group or whatever and plan it out. I hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow is Tuesday. What do you think we're going to be making? What do you think? It's a Taco Tuesday with a twist. We're going to do two things in one. I'll see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed that. And stay strong. I love you all.